It was very profound to get the statements that we got, and extremely important for us as Zimbabwe. On behalf of His Excellency the President, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, I'm very privileged to be sharing this with you. First of all, it is very important to know your importance and the importance of everyone. Because sometimes we don't see the importance. Every wall is made up of a brick first and foremost. And those bricks build 54 floors, like in this building. If you remove one of the bricks, the structure is likely to crumble. I am talking to my fellows. So after 500 years of being told that you might not be as useful, it's time to know that we are useful. Because some people tend to believe it because the echo comes every morning, every afternoon, every evening, every night. So we lose some on the way. We belong to a very long wave of destiny, and that destiny leads us to prosperity of the African people, to the dignity of the African people, to the integrity of the African people. And you carry the blood and the spirit of the first person. That's very important, and we are part of that wave. I believe we are part of that wave that carries the past, nourishes the present, and will give birth to the future. And if that gets into your head, then you know that you're extremely useful and you cannot joke around. We are where we are and we belong, and that is very important. I thought that it would be very important always to say we represent those who are gone, and we represent those who are present, and we represent the unborn. Therefore, their destiny depends on how we behave. We are important, but we subject ourselves to the destiny of the African peoples within the matrix of a dynamic world, where you cannot be bragging about, I got the latest, but you say, I made the latest. Because sometimes say, oh, I have the latest iPhone, I have the latest this, as if it's dropping from the sky. Be a participant in the construction of a new world that we want to belong to. It is, and it must be. We have beamed those 5 principles of our doctrine. Comrade Farai talked about the importance of codification. He was saying, make a movie, make a movie, make a movie. Those principles are the codification of the philosophies of Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa in his doctrine of how we relate in the foreign environment. But first of all, how we relate to ourselves. Because you have to be an entity, first and foremost, before you can interact with another entity. To that extent, it means you must know Zimbabwe, Africa will be built by its own people. That's a generational obligation, and it has to happen. we can relate with others in terms of how we can cooperate in our agenda. We cannot be in their agenda, whoever they are. It must be our agenda. Do you have an agenda? Is what Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa is saying. So he's saying, ilizwe lakiwa ngabanikazi balo. Nyika inova kwa nevene bayo. A country is built by its own people. It's the first atomic principle of building a nation, of a dignified people. The next is, as Comrade Farai was realizing, you have to have a mind that belongs. You have to have a mind that is liberated. A mind that says, it's me, but me who is belonging to those from the past and belonging to those in the future. And that my purpose is a cement between the bricks of the past and the future. And that can only happen when you are one. You must be an element, but to me, you must be an atom. At the end of the day, when we are together and we move together, we are a force to reckon with. It means that person who is at the corner and that person who is at the apex must go together. Doing that, a dignified people, a powerful people, may have people that hate them, but they don't hate back. They are so powerful that hating is trivial. They fall by the wayside as we move and march towards our destiny. That's why we say a friend to all and an enemy to none. It doesn't mean that we don't have enemies, but it's them who labeled. It's not us who are labeling. We are moving. And His Excellency says it's like an elephant when it's moving and the dogs are barking. They keep on barking, but we keep on moving. That is the sign of a powerful people, and I believe we are. And Zimbabwe is an example of such a powerful people. We defend, we don't offend. Of course, we are such dignified people. We defend. If you attack us, we defend. We don't offend. And in order to run the country properly, we must be open for business inside, outside. But knowing very well that we shall forever be sovereign. We are not selling the country, not a bit, not even one day. But we can do business, which makes sense to those that we partner with, and first and foremost, to ourselves. So every pledge, as you move around, you must know Zimbabwe will forever be sovereign. For our diplomat, whenever they are talking to anyone, first and foremost, they must make a covenant that here I am not selling out. I know where I belong. I can discuss, but there are certain things that are sacrosanct to Zimbabwe, which is its sovereignty, that we must be able to make our own decision. Today, when we were doing business, I said, us as Zimbabwe, we are so independent-minded that when we tell you this is what we are going to do, we do it because we don't have anybody outside of Zimbabwe to consult about our own decisions. We made it a point that we are going to run our country ourselves. Come rain, come thunder. Come drought, come rain. Come cold, come heat. We will be able to defend that country, even spiritually. It means dying for it and keep on defending it in that world. Now, having understood why we are beaming these things, we are beaming our core values. What are our core values as a country? This is what His Excellency President Mnangagwa is saying. From the Constitution, we have a doctrine of saying these are our values. As you go out and interact with the world, you must know all those values, that you are responsible for your country, that you must have a liberated mind, that you must be open for business but never compromise on the sovereignty of your country. Never, ever. Not yesterday, not today, and not tomorrow. And Comrade Farai was saying, let me tell you, the youth, you knowing very well that we were there before, and you'll be here where we are, and beyond. I mean in terms of age. Your presence, from business people to international civil servants to students and our comrades in the Pan-African community, reflects a broad and vibrant cross-section of Zimbabweans abroad. People were predicting the death of Zimbabwe a long time ago. We won't die. We don't die. We will never die. It is heartening to witness such patriotism, Shumba, burning brightly here in the Americas. A living testament for your love for Zimbabwe and your determination to contribute to its development. Zimbabweans are Zimbabweans, Africans are Africans, whether inside or outside. Africa is born in you, you are Africa, it doesn't matter where you stay. Whether you like it or not, this is a scientific truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we reaffirm the government of Zimbabwe's unwavering commitment to your safety and security. Recognizing your pivotal role, the government, according to the Constitution, Section 35 of the Constitution, obligates the state to safeguard the rights, dignity, and welfare of citizens, both within and beyond the borders. You can change your citizen, it's a document. It's just a document. It's okay, but it's a document. You are not a document. You are you. That's why, according to the Constitution of Zimbabwe, if you are born of a Zimbabwe, no matter where you are a Zimbabwean, whether you call yourself whatever later, it's secondary. You belong. It is in this regard that we are institutionalizing and strengthening the system of consular services at our diplomatic missions to ensure your protection as Zimbabweans living abroad. This also includes decentralizing services such as passport and identity document issuance, with North America being identified as a priority for passport production, to make sure that we document our people. Even if you say, no, I'm no longer Zimbabwean, this is just language. You are. Under the visionary leadership of our president, our chief diplomat, His Excellency the President of the Republic, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Second Republic has placed diaspora engagement at the heart of our national development strategy. One of the things, if you follow the statements of His Excellency, since the 24th of November 2017, he says Zimbabweans at home and in the diaspora, all the time. There was sometimes a tendency of thinking that maybe we are not wanted at home. There's nothing like that, whether we want you or not. It doesn't change a thing, you are Zimbabweans. So we better love you, and we love you. Indeed, it has become His Excellency's proud tradition, wherever he travels, to reach out to our compatriots abroad, ensuring that no son or daughter of Zimbabwe is left behind in our unfolding story of progress. We are moving, we are determined, and we will win. We thank our president for his wise and generous approach, which strengthens national unity and invites all to contribute to skills, ideas, and resources to Zimbabwe's growth. I heard one comrade saying, for us, you do this at home. It's your home. You have the rights which are exactly the same as the rights that people at home have. Exactly the same, separated by geography. But indeed, you belong. Therefore, the policies that are pursued at home are for you, and those ones at home, they are for everyone to make Zimbabwe progress. The attainment of our vision 2030 of an upper middle income economy by 2030, as we said, depends on the contributions of everyone in Zimbabwe. That's why His Excellency says, stone upon stone, we are going to move. We used to have roads built by other people who build them, and we are building them, including the trabubblers. At some point, people were saying, oh, but the standards will be so low. Whose standards? We will build them. If they crack, we'll fill the cracks. That's why crack fillers are there. We will do everything. You must always have the courage to start. They never cracked anyway, because we have the best engineers, we have best brains, best everything. Once people start to practice things, things just happen. And we are doing it. And some places that used to take 4 hours to go, it's 2 hours without overspeeding. We engage and re-engage with international partners because partnerships open doors to investment, technology transfer, and innovation. But I want to emphasize, in our foreign policy, we resist coercion. We can talk to people, but we resist coercion. Zimbabwe doesn't like to be coerced. We don't like it. No coercion. We can discuss with people, but you can never put us in the corner, coerce us in order to make a certain decision. We do it out of our own will, because we know at the heart of the success of any nation is its people. That's why we say, ilizwe lakiwa ngabanikazi balo, nyika ichivakwa nevene vayo. A country is built by its own people. To that end, Zimbabwean diaspora plays a vital role in the country's economic development by contributing to skills and so forth. Go out there, look what is there, see what is fit for us, come and apply. It's your home after all. Our remittances have grown to over 2 billion, being contributed by Zimbabweans. The government continues to enact policies to harness this potential. That's why we believe it's very important that we always congregate and tell each other where we belong. We belong to Africa, we belong to Zimbabwe. That's where we belong. We might live elsewhere, but you know where we belong. On our part, government continues to improve ease of doing business, which Dr. Sibanda was talking about. We are really working on ease of doing business. Licenses are tumbling. You know, one of the things that His Excellency has done, His Excellency the President, Dr. Mnangagwa, is to know that you can create a world, you can create a country, but you have to back it up with rules and regulations. Even they say, akasika denga nenyika, akaitsigira no murairo. So the rules are the ones that run the country. So if you use colonial rules, you can never create a new Zimbabwe. It's not possible. Because a country is run by rules. So look at the rules that is running. So sometimes somebody might say, according to a statutory instrument of 1952, you say, hey, 1952? 1952, you and me were supposed to be down, extremely down. Every rule was made for you to be down, so you cannot be quoting 1952 regulation in an independent Zimbabwe. You have to hit at the core of the legal system. That's why His Excellency has been doing a lot of transformation, including removal of the death penalty, by the way. We never killed people in the past. Why should we kill people because the British did? We have our own systems, but they never involved death sentence. So His Excellency removed that, including the business laws. They removed that, including the building codes. Because in the past, people would say, oh, in order to see how strong the roof is, you have to use snowpack weight. And you say, snowpack weight? In Zimbabwe, it never snowed. Not even in the past, not even weight are you using for your roof? So all these laws were changed. And it was during the time of Minister Julaimo where he changed the building codes in order to make sure that we build things that have something to do with the wind and sun, not snow. So you see that all the licenses that we are talking about, it's part of that legal reform in order to make Zimbabwe livable by the rules that are made by its own people, not according to the crown rules. We don't have a crown, by the way. So all these things, you believe, I believe in a general way, I'm also answering certain questions. So, we have come to New York to join other world leaders to deliberate on pressing global challenges. One of the pillars of Zimbabwe's foreign policy is provided for under Constitution, our Section 12, subsection 1D of the Constitution, is the peaceful settlement of international disputes. And we are campaigning for a non-permanent seat for the United Nations Security Council. But at the same time, we are pushing for the reform of the Security Council of the UN system so that it belongs to all. It has always been Zimbabwe's fight for equality, yesterday, today, and forever. So we are confident of overwhelming endorsement on this front. Our compatriots, we urge you to be true ambassadors of our great country. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, we used to even not have bread, but we stuck to our principles. We used not to have even electricity, we stuck to our principles. We used not to be able to transact internationally when the SWIFT was closed, we stuck to our principles. We are here. We were there. We will be there again. Because we are bound by values that matter. Values of Ubuntu, values of equality, values that say an African does not have to explain why they are people. So, I hope for the young ones, as Comrade Farai says, it's very important to know that we were young before, that we are getting old, and you will also become old. But let the spirit of dignity, integrity sit in you, and don't be the weakest link in the chain of dignity. We are known for hard work in schools, and your professor is extremely proud. You know, I was really proud of you, Prof. Because in my assignment out of government, I'm assigned to be a professor of aerospace at the university. But this assignment is to talk to you about Zimbabwe, where we belong. And please work hard, effectively, knowing very well that consistency is the game. It's about consistency. Because sometimes people talk about, it has to be quick. Quick for who? Rocks cracked, not because the water was harsh, but it's dropping in it for years. And then the rock will just go, and you must know that you are just part of a wave that is moving, and take your place. I've said to people, there were several foreign ministers before me. There will be several other foreign ministers after me. But during my time, take your part. And you take your part. So, your continued involvement in Zimbabwe's development is very important. I have said what I have said. I have got my colleagues here, Honorable Moyo and Honorable Mawetera, who will answer also certain questions that you have asked. But the most important thing is that you don't belong to Zimbabwe by birth certificate. It's not a paper. It's the blood, it's the DNA of Africa that belongs to you. So no matter what your paper says, I don't care. You belong to that Africa. And you cannot participate in the game of mocking Africa because you are sitting somehow in the master's house. Never get that temptation. Never. If you even feel that spirit, just go behind a building and pray. My president says, Onoti, mweya wabvano kupi? Mweya wa region. Wabvano kupi? You belong. Vanoti, mukaubike dor. Go and brew some beer and pray to the ancestors. Why are you throwing me away? It is very vital. It's not activism. It's what is called belonging, and never apologizing for belonging. Now, so many taxes are being reduced as ease of doing business. In agriculture, I just want to say also, land is not expandable. Zimbabwe is 391,000 square kilometers. And part of it is arable. So now the government is moving from owning the land to co-investing in the land that is available, which means through joint ventures with the people that are already on the land, we can do more. In the rural areas, tourism is thriving. People can go and build infrastructure there. I think Dr. Swanda talked about the solar revolution. I was flying from Ethiopia. That plane that arrives at home at 2 a.m. And I couldn't tell whether I was in Harare or not because there were lights all over. Because Dr. Mnangagwa's policy of solar, and there's a Minister of Energy here, most households have got solar energy now. So when you look down, you can see the ED revolution taking place in the country. It's not something that we have to do propaganda about. It's just true. It's overwhelming. Yes, we still have to do more. But something happened, and something is happening. And we want to thank our president for such a flexible and thought-pointed mind to make us proud. In the past, except of December movement, people didn't want, if you say we belong to Zimbabwe, they would run away from you. They think that there's some contagion because the master will see that you are belonging to a rebel country. No, we just belong to ourselves. And we believe in the dignity of an African. And that one we can die for. So, it's important to know that there is a different approach, which is investment in the land, and so forth and so on. And the issue of Zimbra, we are looking at all those things. We want to make the life of Zimbabweans very easy. About what you were saying, comrade, about the party, I've asked for this statement from you. I'll go and give it exactly as it is to the secretary, first secretary of the party. I cannot answer that at this moment because it is its hierarchy. This was addressed to His Excellency. I'll go and give him. So I think at this moment, I want to give room to Honorable Julaimo to have a take on the questions that were being asked, and also to Honorable Mawetera, if you have any response to that. And I really want to thank you. You belong, not by paper. You belong. I thank you.